My name is Mary Barnard and I am your Spanish instructor for this semester. Now, I just wanted to go over some of the aspects of the course as you see it on D2L because some students may be new to taking online courses and especially new to taking eCore courses. So this is what our course page looks like. And of course, like in any class you take in college, the most important element is the syllabus, which can be found right here. You click on syllabus and you can read through the syllabus as I have written it. Now, all of these Spanish courses have more or less the same syllabus. The instructors just change some aspects like due dates and office hours, and we put in our contact information, of course, and that's all right up here. But most of the Spanish courses have the same syllabus and the same requirements. So you can read through that. Now, there is no textbook for this course. The course is open source, meaning that we have created and culled sources from the internet. Now, I didn't create this course. I'm not in charge of its content. So if you have any issues with the content that's in the course, I can't change it and I didn't create it, but I can help you to understand some of most all of what's going on really. We do use different dialects of Spanish in the course, as is typical for most Spanish courses, to introduce students to the diversity of the Spanish-speaking world. So don't be thrown back if, for example, you grew up hearing and speaking one dialect of Spanish, but then there's another dialect that's used in the course. Most of these dialects are still intelligible and, most speakers can understand each other. Now, there are 5 chapters in the course. A lot of it will feel like a review to you, especially if you took the beginning level sequence, which is usually 1001, 1002. If you didn't and you tested into this course because your college has a placement exam, it will probably still feel like a review for you, especially chapters 1 and 2. Now, one very important thing about the course is that we don't have a traditional midterm exam. It's an interview that I conduct with you, very short interview, maybe 5 to 8 minutes, where I ask you questions in Spanish, and you have a list of the questions that I will choose from when I interview you, so you can prepare in advance. More information about that will come. Now, attendance. Really, the only attendance requirement in this course is that you log in at least once a week and complete work. Now, that doesn't mean you can just log in and not complete work and then, pass the class, but logging in does prompt you to, at least pay attention to the course. So when I report attendance throughout the semester and I try to track your progress, I look at not only when was the last time you logged in, but what was the last assignment you completed. So I have to keep on top of that, and the more you log in to the course and complete the work, the less likely you will get behind. But of course that's obvious and goes without saying. Now, my late policy, this is what I have put in as my policies for how flexible I'm going to be with you. I try to be flexible with my students. However, there are limitations due to academic integrity. So I want you to read through this and be very careful that you follow the instructions on it, because this is how I will, calculate a lot of your grades, especially discussion boards and such, because I have to have a late policy or else students will just hire someone that they found off the internet to do all their work all at once. So that's not academically honest. So this is a collection of my policies on late policies and how I want the assignments to be done. Now, as far as the grade breakdown, here we have what every assignment is worth. The heaviest weighted category is homework, but there are a lot of homework assignments, like little bitty homework assignments, and they all add up. And even if you do poorly on one, usually because there are probably about, I don't know, 50 or 60 of them, little tiny assignments, that if you do poorly on one, usually it just all averages out. So I would say the video boards probably, even though it's only 15% here, but the fact is that there are only 8. So each one is a little under 2% of your grade. So, you know, these video and discussion boards can really help your grades. So don't fall behind on those especially. Now, the important due dates for the course are listed here. The introductory assignments are those assignments like the mandatory attendance quiz, the online translator quiz, the introductory discussion board and video board. They're due January 15th, and I use them as kind of an attendance verification set of assignments because I have to verify that you've actually attended the first week of courses to eCore so that you don't get dropped from the course. So make sure you do those assignments straight away. The next lesson we have due is Lección Uno, which is due January 29th. And as you see, I kind of lump all of those assignments into one due date. And I do that so I don't have a bunch of different due dates for pretty much the same unit of exercises. And I find it's easier for students that instead of juggling a whole bunch of due dates, they know that, oh, all my chapter 1 stuff is due on this day. Okay, so I try to be flexible. Like, I only take off 5 points for every week late on assignments because I want to be flexible, especially with this pandemic. But I have to be realistic. So, of course, the grade scale is on a 10-point scale. 90 and above is an A, 80 and above is a B, etc., which is pretty much the same at most of the Georgia institutions. Now, the rest goes over some stuff about language learning, but those are the most important parts of the syllabus. Now we go back to the course home. This is our home page. And I like to communicate with the class as a whole through posting announcements. So, for example, right here I posted my welcome message where I speak about some of the main aspects of the course, and then I also list what you need to be doing right now. So I will send announcements throughout the semester about due dates, about grammar issues, or whatever that I need to address to the entire course through the announcements portion right here. If I have to email an individual student, I do it through the email app. I don't like to send out mass emails, but if I have to talk to a student individually, I usually like to send an individual email. Now, that's the announcements. And again, so you know what's due, you can go to calendar here. Of course, this is what the faculty page looks like. So the student view may be a little different, but I know you guys have the calendar. And here it says introductory assignments do, what they are. Whoops, see, that's something instructors can do. They can create events. This is for Lección 1, all Lección 1 assignments due, and so forth. I don't like to clutter up my calendar, so that's why it looks like, oh, only 3 things are due. No, actually, everything from chapter 2 is due on this day, because I don't like to have like 30 or 40 different things to clutter up the calendar. I just find it easier for students if they can put it all in one lump category. So this is the calendar for our course for the remainder of the semester. Now, a lot of the assignments are not all, but a lot of the assignments have an ultimate last due date of the last day of the final exam period. Now I do that so that you can catch up with something you've missed, but late penalties do still apply. So that means that there really is a premium if you want to make a good grade, the best grade possible, on doing everything on time. But if for some reason you have to catch up with stuff, you still have a chance. And you may not make an A, a B, you might squeak by with a C or D, but still you would pass the course. Okay? I find most students, though, if they do everything on time, they usually score pretty well in the course. Now, doing well in the course isn't just about doing things on time, it's also about doing things in a sequence. Now, language learning isn't something you can skip around on. So go to content. This is where you start with the actual work of the course. Go to start here. Go through everything step by step. Read the welcome page, the syllabus, the schedule, attendance requirements. Go through everything, do the quiz, discussion board, video board, etc. And then go to Lección 1 and start with this stuff. Again, sequentially. Start with the introduction. Now, a lot of this will feel like a review. A lot of you guys have already seen the material for ser and estar, and you know how to conjugate verbs in the present tense. You know all of this. Many people do. If you don't, that's okay. It's just going to be kind of a more accelerated kind of introduction to it for you. But it's nothing you can't accomplish if you go step by step. So I press next. Then again, it goes over what's required, goes over what's required in the chapter, checklist. You can use that if you like. Post the check-in board, and basically when you post a check-in board, you can just copy paste this little paragraph, start a new thread, copy paste, and you're done. And then you can start with the vocabulary, and this is the work for the vocabulary section. Right here is the first grammar section, the second grammar section, the third, and so forth. Culture, and here are the discussion boards and quizzes. These are the discussion boards and video boards and quizzes. Now, as far as quizzes go, you have these things called practice quizzes. I have written optional by them because you don't have to do them if you don't have time. If you want to practice, go for it, but they're not graded. And they do provide feedback, but the feedback is kind of like general hypothetical feedback. It's not specific feedback to your performance. It's just basically for just rehearsal in a way. Now this right here is the actual quiz that's graded, that I will grade and I will provide feedback on. But anything marked optional right here in big cap letters, you don't have to do. Same thing here. Optional, you don't have to do. Again, here is the actual listening and writing quiz. So you have two quizzes, grammar, vocab, and culture quiz, and you have a listening and writing quiz. Now for these listening and writing quizzes, I suggest you use Google Chrome. For anything D2L, use the Google Chrome browser. Okay? Like I have a Mac, doesn't matter, Google Chrome. I use it always with D2L. I also have a PC in my home. I use Google Chrome with D2L on that as well. Google Chrome is the way to go with D2L. So basically that's what you're going to do with the course. You're just going to go step by step, assignment by assignment. Now, great. So this is the schedule for the course. It's basically what's on the calendar. I don't know why it divided up like the chapter stuff into sections, but basically everything that's due for every chapter is due on the same day. Like all the lesson 1 stuff, January 29th. All the lesson 2 stuff, February 19th. This is when we're going to do the midterm exam interviews, etc., etc. Everything is marked. So let me see resources. Okay, so that seems like it's about it for now. And I see that some people have already started. It's morning time on the first day and people are already getting their work done, so that's great. That's a good sign. So if you have any questions, just let me know. A lot of things will come up throughout the semester. You can email me. Once you complete the mandatory attendance quiz, I will be calling the telephone number you provide, because I want to make sure that it works and that you'll be able to use it. For example, if on the midterm exam interview we can't use the video, because technology always fails in one way or another. So I want to make sure that we have a second option. So again, if you have any questions, email is the best way to get in contact with me. I also provided a telephone number on the syllabus. You can call, but it's best to call during office hours, but you can email me anytime. So that's it for now. I hope we have a good semester.